Welcome to the Power of Offense with Keith and Rodney, and I'm your host, Big Keith. And this video is about the rapper The Game and how his day in court may have went a lot different if he showed up to his initial hearing. Now, I'm sure you all have heard by now, but the rapper The Game has lost his record label and his final album profits to sexual assault accuser Priscilla Rainey. Now, I found this article at theguardian.com. Now, it starts off by saying that the record label of American rapper The Game and all profits from the sale of his last album, Born to Rap, has been seized by a judge in a $7 million sexual assault case. Priscilla Rainey, who accused The Game of sexual assault in 2015, has been awarded any and all rights, title, and interest in any money, property, or future payments due to the rapper's independent label, LA Prolific, All Hip Hop reports. In 2015, Priscilla Rainey appeared on The Game's reality dating show, She's Got Game. She accused The Game of sexually assaulting her during an off-camera date at a Chicago sports bar in May of that year. According to Rainey, The Game, whose birth name is Jason Terrell Taylor, lifted her skirt and repeatedly groped her while under the influence. In November 2016, a jury awarded Rainey $1.13 million in compulsory damages and another $6 million in punitive damages after The Game failed to appear in court. The rapper lost his appeal for a new trial in 2019 after the judge pointed at his online attacks at Rainey and for not taking the litigation seriously. Now I'm going to stop right there. And let me highlight this paragraph. Now, it says in 2016, the jury awarded Rainey $1.13 million in compulsory damages and another $6 million in punitive damages after The Game failed to appear in court. Now, like I first said when I started this video, I really believe that the outcome of his case would have been different if he did not fail to appear in court. Now, the fact that he did fail to appear in court, the court applied a doctrine that is called the doctrine of Laches. And right here on the screen, I have a definition of the word laches. And laches in law is the unreasonable delay in making an assertion or claim, such as asserting a right, claiming a privilege, or making an application for redress, which may result in refusal. Now, The Game's unreasonable delay in asserting his rights, right, or asserting his claims against Ms. Rainey's claims, right, is what caused him to lose his case. All right. So what ended up happening was the court hit him, or shall I say the court rendered what is called a default judgment. And I have a definition for you for that too. Now, default judgment is a ruling granted by a court or judge. Default judgments arise in circumstances whereby one party to a suit has failed to perform a court-ordered action, and subsequently that failure has not only prevented the issue from being presented before the court, but also results in the court settling the legal dispute in favor of the compliant party. For example, when a defendant is summoned to appear before the court in a case brought by a plaintiff but fails to respond to the court's legal order, the judge can rule for default judgment and thereby decide the case in the plaintiff's favor. The defendant, though not present before the court, is obligated to abide by the court's ruling for default judgment and subject to any and all punishments requested by the court. See, this is what The Game is dealing with right now. The fact that he did not show up, right, to the initial hearing, and obviously he didn't have any good reason not to be there, right? Because that's why his appeal got denied. A default judgment was rendered. Now, he's subject to any and all punishment requested by the court, and that punishment is the damages of around $7 million. And within that, to make sure that the plaintiff, which is Ms. Rainey, is able to collect on that 7 million, the court has ruled, right, that Ms. Rainey can now take possession of the game's record label, right, and his final album profits. So I must say, shame on you, rapper The Game. Shame on you, bro. And the reason why I'm saying shame on you is because the courts are typically lenient if you have a valid reason to miss a court date. So if it was a situation where a family member would have passed, you know, if your daughter would have got sick or something like that, the court would have understood, and the appellate level would have reversed the judgment, you know. But the fact that obviously you didn't take the litigation seriously, right, according to the court at least, because I don't know much about your case other than what I'm reading right here, and the fact that you were attacking Miss Rainey online, God knows whatever you were saying, I haven't been following it. The court decided to deny your appeal, so now you're liable for $7 million in damages, you know. So personally, I think this is a good story for all of us to learn from. Of course, the rapper The Game, he's a celebrity, and celebrities, you know, their issues sometimes are different than ours, but the rules of the court applies to them as well as us. So my advice to anyone that's listening, if you have a court order to appear before court, right, whether it's criminal or whether it's a civil case, it's best for you to show up, right, so that you can give an affirmative defense to protect your rights and interests. And if you don't, remember Laches, y'all. Remember default judgment. It does apply to you. And if you lose, the court can garnish you. All right. If it's a civil case, they can garnish you. If it's a criminal case, they will issue a warrant and they will lock you up. So just wanted to make that clear. I thought this was a great opportunity for me to teach on default judgment and Laches. You know, if you have any questions or concerns, please drop me a comment below. Thank you very much. Peace.